that MINM as well. Again, that is a risk-free trade. Look at AREB here. Look at the volume here on AREB. Take a look. This should be your top watch right now on AREB. Take a look at this here. Watch for the dips off VWAP, guys. Watch for the dips off that 58-cent area here. Watch the dips on this, for real. I'm going to try to get a little bit filled here on a dip at 67 cents, risking 58 cents. I'm going to do my best to get filled. I don't know that I will. Will be a quarter size risk here. We've got about 10 cents a share of risk. And again, we'll be about a quarter size risk. I want to see if I can't get a curl off VWAP on this. Let me get my screen up here as well. All right, should be good. So quarter size risk in that. I want to see what happens there off of VWAP. So be watching these dips and make sure to cut it under 58 if it does not hold. And that is on AREB. I'm also trying to watch my MINM trade here at the same time. So I've only got very small amounts left in MINM. But I'm watching this here on AREB. Let me also post up an alert real quick. AREB, I'm in off of VWAP, guys. Again, I'm in off of VWAP on AREB. And I'm curious if this can't make a larger move. We're at 58 right now. If it does crack, then I'll be out. But keep an eye on it. I just want to see this hold off VWAP. It's got range to about $1 here, but I don't know if we're going to get that here. Let's see if it finds buyers off of VWAP. So again, top watch right now is on AREB. For the possible range here to about $1. Entry is a little bit higher than I would have liked. But it was so resilient over the highs, I was like, surely this is going to hold up over the highs and got to pull back to VWAP, but still sized properly. So again, right now I am in MINM and I'm also in AREB. MINM, I've got a quarter left with a stop loss raised, and on AREB, I'm in here with also a quarter size. Yeah, I wish I was positioned a little bit lower here on AREB, but it is what it is. Still a very small size. MINM trying to get back to the 3.6s as well. If this cracks 58, I'll be out. Back to 63. Struggling to curl here. MINM back to 3.6. Again, I am still in MINM as well, guys. MINM is a risk-free trade for me as well. That's guaranteed profit over there. There's 362 now in MINM. 65's trying to get back here on AREB, curling off the VWAP again. Need to find buyers back up over the highs here. Let's see how it can take off this pullback. Pulling back to VWAP to retest. Need to find buyers here off 60 cents, and if we can, here we go. New highs on MINM as well. New highs on MINM as well. I need to find a buyer here over 60 on AREB. Little hefty pullback here, giving back most of its gains from the last candle. Might crack down under 58 here. Watching closely. Testing 58. If it does crack, I will be out. And I'm out of AREB with a half-size loss. But thankfully, made some money on MINM. Only thing is, like I said, I was a little bit positioned too high on AREB. It is what it is, though. So, still very manageable. And tons of range on it, too. So, I feel like we can still play it later. I just hate how I was positioned in that trade. I was way too high in that. Here's new highs on MINM again. I'm actually going to sell a little bit more of my MINM here at 371. I've got 15% left in MINM. I'd like to get down to runners and just hold that one and see what it wants to do. Right now, I'm actually going to raise my stops on MINM2 to 350. Well, 351 more like. So right now today we've got one win, we've got one loss. The one win on MINM is from 350 to 370, and the loss on AREB is from 68 cents to about 60 cents, 58 cents. So annoying there on AREB, but again, positioned a little bit high, but you know, still sized properly. It is what it is. All right, so we've got about 20-ish minutes until the open. SPEC we had on last night's watch list. I don't love it too much from here going into the bell, but we still want to watch it today. Honestly, I want to look at it a little bit differently. If we can watch the dips down here off of 60 cents, you might actually have something to keep an eye on. So I'm going to be doing that one today here as well. Watch it off the lows from pre-market into the open. There's 375 and 377 now on MINM here. I'm actually going to take a little bit more profits and get down to just runners left now on MINM. Already a much bigger move than I was kind of expecting on this. I just wanted to retest the VWAP, and we're already up at 374. So far on MINM, we've gotten a move from 350 all the way to 375, and here's 3.8 now on MINM. Okay, but SPEC I do want to be watching today as well. 3.8's now breaking on MINM. And this is why it is so important you let your winners go and you cut your losers short, because trades like that, you want to milk them. You want to milk them, and it's easy for those to take over your losers as well. All right, so 387 and 390 testing now on MINM. SPEC, though, I do definitely want to be watching, though, off 59 cents out of the open. So SPEC off of 59 out of open would give you range here back to 75. Which doesn't seem like much, but you've got range back to 75 over 75. You've got the range back to $1. AREB I may look at later, but with how it traded there, I don't know that I love it too much, at least at the moment. I do want to look back at it here in just a second, though. Let's see. As it holds off these lows here off 50 cents, might be one to take a look at. We can keep an eye on it here. Let's see here on the daily. What are we looking at for range? I know I said $1 earlier, but is that going to be your clear range? Yeah, you've got range to $1. There's 390s breaking now in MINM. That's from a 350s entry as well. 395 now. And I'm just going to hold that MINM over VWAP and see where it wants to go. I'm actually going to raise my stops on that as well to 365. I've just got runners left in it still. But I want to see if we can't get the break of 4 on that. That's from a 350s entry. Also still watching this AREB as well off 50 cents. Taking some one more time on AREB here at 57.80. Risking 51 cents. So this will be my last try here on AREB for the day. But I want to see if we can't get a curl back up into the bell while I'm sitting here trying to milk my profits on MINM at the same time. So I want to see if this can't get the curl and reclaim a VWAP here. There's 60 testing already. 61 testing. 61. Here we go, 62. Sold a third at 62. Nice look so far here. I'm going to use my stop as my entry here now. Keep it super tight. If it doesn't curl higher, then we can just play it again later. I'm still also in MINM as well, so this will be a small green trade on AREB worst case. My entry here is at 58 cents, so keep that in mind. If it does crack back below VWAP, I'm going to get out for at least now, and we can play it later if it doesn't curl, but I want to see the break of 62 here. Here's 62 breaking to 63. Let's see if we can get back up through 63 on this here. The break of 63 should get us back to about 68. Here's $4 breaking now in MINM, which I'm still in from a 353 entry as well. Again, using my stop at entry on AREB after selling some up there at 62 cents from a 58 cent entry. If it does crack, I will be out and play it again later, most likely. Stop the rest over entry on AREB. I'll play it again later. Made a few bucks on it. But I want to position myself where I can just keep on playing the dips on this. But it's not super liquid, so I kind of want to wait until closer to the bell. So made a few bucks on the second trade on AREB. Not much, but 58 to about 62 on that. MINM, I'm still in from a 350s entry. Right now risking 365 with about 10% left. Made the right decision there on AREB and cut it right there above my entry. As you can see, 58. Sold a third at 63 cents. Sold the rest right there at 59, and I was in at 58. So not too shabby. Not too shabby. And again, still in MINM as well to see where that wants to go. Right now, starting the day with 2 wins and 1 loss. Let's go ahead and go through some nightly watch list stuff real quick, starting with Chewy. Chewy, we want to watch today off of 2470. So Chewy is going to be watched off of 2470 today. Again, we've got SPEC that we wanted to watch off 80 cents. We're not going to be doing that anymore. And I've also got SRPT to watch today after its FDA approval news last night, but I don't believe it held up too well overnight, did it? Let's see, we're holding 163. It held up okay. It held up okay. I wanted to see this one hold up off of 157.50 today, which, you know, in all honesty is fine. So we can still watch this one here. So this will be off of 157.50 there off the daily. So not a horrible look there either. Let's see. So we have MINM that we're up nicely in. We've got AREB for a loss this morning and then a small win. So not a very sexy pre-market. Kind of meh, you know, but oh well. We've got about 10 minutes until the bell. It is Friday. Pre-market looks pretty whack. But we're going to cross our fingers and hope that we can find some good action here after the open. I'm still holding my MINM as well, with that stop loss raised above my entry. I want to see if it can test that 440 there. So I'm going to let my runners just go. Hopefully we can get the 440 on that into the open. And I do want to be keeping an eye on this AREB really closely, though, into the open as well. It looks good. It looks good, but it's just one of those things where I just want to be super scalpy with it until it actually finds some decent liquidity. It does have news this morning as well. But I'm just been playing it small until we actually get the move I'm looking for, at least. Taking some again here at 58 cents. Really got filled at the high 58, almost 59 cents here on AREB. Got filled a little bit high. Just a cent high. Curious if she wants to make a move into the bell. Again, smaller size here again. See if we can get back up through 60 cents. MINM also holding up very, very well. So keeping this tight into the bell, but top setups to watch into the open today is AREB, MINM, and honestly, I'd be watching SPEC as well. Here's 60 testing again. Here's 60 breaking again on AREB. I'm going to sell a quarter up here at 61.30. Sold a quarter. Sold a third at 61.50. Just playing these dips here until we can get a move into the bell, hopefully. This one's a bit tricky. Out for now at 57 cents. Overall break even on that trade there. So that's what I mean. This one's a little bit tricky. He's trying to find a buyer to break out of this wedge here up into the open. Sold back off to 57 cents. Still holding MINM as well with a 350s entry with a stop loss in place at 365. And that is currently basing our view app here nicely into the bell as well. I would be watching MINM really closely. Even if you haven't played the first trade, I still think it's a really, really nice setup to be keeping an eye on into the bell today. As it breaks through 4 here, as we're talking about it, cracking through 404. 407's on it now. Again, that's probably my top watch into the open, honestly. It's a really good look. Raising my stops on MINM again to 373. So risking right there below the 5-minute lows off of VWAP. I want to see if that can't make a move up higher into the 440s, maybe up to 5 today on MINM. It looks really, really good. It really does look good. So we'll see what it wants to do. So again, top watches for me, again, into the open, MINM. Right now, we're starting the day a little slow, a little boring, a little scalpy. We traded MINM super, super well, but AREB was a little bit scalpy. We had the first loss, had a win, and then we had a break even. So super, super scalpy, a little bit choppy, really, on that one. Top watch for me into the bell, though, that MINM. I'll be keeping an eye here on AREB as well. Let's see, we're also watching SRPT and Chewy. I've got all of my charts pulled up already. There's not really too much that I love for today. So, that sucks, but it is what it is. Being a holiday Friday, holiday week Friday. There's 418 now on MINM. And again, I'm just letting my runners go. Scalping it on the way up, and it's good stuff. So hopefully we can get a big move on that out of the bell today. Aside from that, though, AREV was scalpy. Sideways pretty much on that this morning. And we've got about 4 minutes until the bell. I would be watching this AREB out of the open. Let me take a look here at the daily. I was wanting to watch it for dips out of the bell off of like 48 cents or something for the move back over VWAP, but I don't know. We'll have to watch. Yeah, we'll have to keep an eye on it and see. But main watch for me right now is this MINM trying to open pretty strong here. Hopefully over 420. But the day is young. Again, all of my pre-market trades I only take with a quarter of my usual risk, and that way it keeps your day manageable. So, you can't submit your day as a red day just in pre-market pretty much that way, because you've got to take 4 losses in pre-market just to get to a typical 1 loss. So as long as you're sizing correctly, right, pre-market should not make or break your day. The primary goal for pre-market for me is just to get a little bit of cushion under my belt. Today we really don't have a whole lot of that, but yesterday we did. Day before that we did. So that's my usual goal in pre-market. It's not to let's make a whole lot of money in pre-market and stop for the day. It's just to get enough cushion under your belt to trade properly the rest of the day without that weight on your shoulders of, oh no, if I take one trade I might end the day red. So having that pre-market kind of traction a little bit can definitely help the rest of the trading day as far as emotions go, but that's really the biggest thing. That's why I always say quarter size and pre-market. I don't like the slippage. I don't like the lack of liquidity. I don't like the lack of stops. So it's just all small size for me. I would be keeping a close eye on SRPT out of the open too from our watch list. Also watch to possibly add back to MINM out of the open off of dips to VWAP too. So again, I'd be watching MINM for possible adds back to that off of VWAP out of the open for the reversal back up into the 440s and 4.8s. That is the best setup that I see currently as far as small caps go. That's on MINM. SPEC doesn't look bad. Penny stock name, not horrible. But whenever you compare it to MINM is the clear winner as far as just obvious A+ setups go. So we shall see where she wants to go into the bell. Just have small size there. We'll see. We will see. I flip back to that closer to the open. Ew, that is gross. NVNO is gross. I need to try and get some ads on MINM out of the open off of VWAP if we can. Otherwise, I'm just going to hold what I've got into the bell here. We've already sold a good bit of this off. I was in originally at 353. Sold a good bit up there at 390. Added a smidge back at 4. A little bit below 4. But I want to get some ads back on this off of VWAP on the dips at the open on MINM. This is what I would be watching heavily into the bell today. Again, just have quarter risk for right now until we get out of the bell. Once we get into the actual trading hours here after 9:30, I wouldn't mind adding back the VWAP to get to my usual size, which means I need to about double up here, really. But we'll see if we can get dips to VWAP, and if we can, I might look to add. Again, I want to get a dip to VWAP to add to this, possibly. Here's the break of 440, up $200 here. Taking some profit up here. I didn't get a pullback to add, unfortunately, but taking some profit up there at 440 and raising stops as well to 408. I've got a stop in place right there under the opening low at 406. Here's 440s again, taking a little bit more profit. Took a little bit more profit at 440. I've got about a half of what I had taking into the open. Just want to see where this wants to go at this point. This is a risk-free trade for me, though. I've got a hard stop loss in place right under that low at 406. So if it does crack below this low, I will be out with a hard stop loss and with guaranteed profit. And I believe it might hit here. It's testing. She's testing. She's a little wonky. I don't know what she's doing. Look at her. Back to 417. Hopefully nobody chased at the open there. May still keep an eye on this off of VWAP though. 406 back to 440 again. Holy crap, the price action on this, dude. The price action on this is absurd. Back to 430s again. I've still only got 200 shares in this, but about 250 bucks. And I am green on the day currently now. Here's 445 trying to crack. I want to see the break of 445. We can probably add to this. Maybe. That's a big maybe. I need to see it clear up first. It's a little bit hesitant below the highs. Don't buy it up here, though. Again, entry was at 353 earlier. I also added a little bit at 4 earlier as well. But don't buy it up here. Don't buy it up here. Not if you haven't played it yet. Sold a little bit more at 450. Stops raised to 425 on MINM. Keeping it tight, I can just play dips later on it if need be. I'm now out of MINM with my profits. We played that overall from 353 to about 444 on MINM total.